Hi everyone, this is Jack Allwile. Welcome to the channel. I'm hoping I'm going to be saving you thousands of dollars with information from this video. So what are we discussing today? I will be sharing with you one of my favorite tax deductions of recent times that I've learned about. It is called the Augusta Rule. So let's get into the details. The Augusta Rule is officially known as Section 280AG of the Internal Revenue Code. It says that if you rent out your personal residence, primary home, secondary home, even a vacation property for 14 days or fewer in a calendar year, you don't have to report that rental income on your federal tax return. So what an opportunity for you to get tax-free money coming in that you don't have to report. Some people might be thinking, how does this exist? Why haven't I heard about this? How did this come to be? I have not looked into the official story, but I've kind of heard it originated from the Masters tournament that happens in Augusta, Georgia. I have a vision in my mind of two older men sitting in a smoky room at a poker table. Maybe we got Jim, Bob, and Bo talking about the local Augusta rental market, and maybe Jim Bob is saying, "Oh man, I looked and I'd be able to rent out my place for 4 or 5 times as much as I normally would these couple weeks." And Bo might be saying, "Well, that sounds great. Sign me up." But you know what would be even more awesome? It would be more awesome if we didn't have to pay taxes on that 14 days of income. So how cool would that be? And I imagine that is not too far-fetched from what actually happened to generate this Augusta rule. So it's an awesome opportunity for you to get tax-free money on a personal level. You'd be able to rent your place out on Airbnb at potentially much higher prices if you scoped it out correctly. Maybe you know a certain concert is coming to your area that could be huge, or a sporting event. On a business side, you are able to rent from your personal residency. So you would be able to deduct the expense on the business side, and you would not report it on the personal, because normally, like, you deduct it from the business, maybe it increases the revenue on the personal, they kind of offset. But here we get to deduct it from the business, and you still don't have to report it on the personal. How awesome is that? It's really, really awesome. Some things to keep in mind. Got 5 items. And like I said, I'm not a CPA. You should ask your own CPA for official tax advice. I've asked mine some around this rule, and I'm just going to list off some of my takeaways. So number one, stick to 14 days or fewer per year. If you go to day 15, the whole amount becomes taxable, not just the one day after the 14, the whole entire rental days. Number two, charge a fair market rental rate. You can't just make up a crazy number. It has to be reasonable. Like what similar homes rent for in your area, you can use sites like Zillow and or Airbnb to back it up. You want to keep records. And to that point, number three is document everything. Even though you don't report the income, keep records like a rental agreement, invoice, and proof of payment. If you're renting to your business, make it formal. No handshake deals. My CPA also said it's beneficial to keep meeting minutes. So you want to keep track of who was at the meeting if you're doing this for business, what was discussed that day, so it's just basic things like the date, who showed up, what you guys talk about, any big takeaways, just so if you were ever audited, you'd have the proof to back up some of these deductions. So number four, watch for state taxes. This is federal only. When it comes to the Augusta rule, some states might tax the income, so check the local rules. Number five, no deductions for you personally. You can't claim depreciation or other rental expenses for those days. But if it's to your business, the business can deduct it. Tired of stocks crashing and inflation eating your savings? Build real wealth with hard assets you can actually see, feel, and understand. You know I love hard assets that stand the test of time. That's why I'm excited to tell you about Parcels of Plenty. Parcels of Plenty offers affordable Arizona land primarily in Apache County that is great for the future homesteader, adventure seeker, or one who wants to save their hard earned wealth in something they can touch. Starting with a low down payment, clear terms, fast recording, and a 90-day money back guarantee, there's really no better way to invest in yourself and your legacy. Can you imagine only paying $7 per year in property taxes for an acre of land? Those are the types of Parcels of Plenty has. Talk about dirt cheap holding costs to preserve your wealth over time. No middlemen, no surprises, just transparent deals. Head to parcelsofplenty.com, find your parcel, send a message, and start building your hard asset portfolio now. Don't wait. Land is the ultimate hedge. And just to get the wheels spinning a little more, let's think about how you could construct this. Like I personally, I've been renting out space in my home to my business for our monthly strategy calls with my property managers. And that was on a lease for like once per month, like the first or second Thursday of every month, depending on where the Thursday fell. But you could look and find very specific days to rent out to your business. So, with that being said, and similarly to the Masters tournament in Augusta, in America 2026, we will be having the World Cup. So, maybe if you're in one of those host cities, you might want to look into this. So, this would be really cool for you to take advantage of this. And I know Philadelphia is one of the host cities. So, I just put in, and you can see when the games are scheduled for. And you could kind of come over on Airbnb to get a sense. But like, let's say we went back to April and we did 15th through the 28th. Let's look. So, and this isn't to say, like, even if you just use the Augusta rule, you'll be better off. This is kind of like the next level, like really trying to like maximize this possibility for a deduction. But you can see like the rental prices for those days, 15th to the 28th of April, you can see they're mostly, I mean, mid 200s and below. But like, okay, so now we know the World Cup's coming in June. Now, if we look, see now we have some prices in the 3, 4, 5,000s. And you might be able to use some of those as your comps. This could be a real game changer, and you really could be saving thousands of dollars in taxes. I mean, think what you could do with that money. You could either invest it, roll it back into your business, take your wife out to a couple very nice dinners throughout the year. All these things are awesome, and this rule will help you make your life a little better. So hopefully you enjoyed the Augusta rule, and hopefully you're going to save a good bit of money. And I would really appreciate it if you like this content to please subscribe and comment with how you're going to use the money you will save using the Augusta rule. Take care.